Hi guys, welcome to Football Brownie. Hope you're all well, keeping safe, keeping each other safe, and spreading the love during this pandemic because we all need a little bit of loving. Anyway, like, share, subscribe to the channel. Right, watch hours going through the roof. Subscribers, we need subscribers now. This is doing my fucking head in actually. We are in the 500 mark. We're about 23, 24 short of getting 600. Come on, guys, I need your help. But welcome to the Drunken Footy podcast. I've already got my wine. I'm slurring my words already. Typical Brownie. Anyway, I'm waiting for guests to come in. So we'll go to the comments first. Hi, Jack. How you doing, my friend? Hope you're well. Keeping safe, my friend. And Ellis in the chat. Brownie, we've gained. Good man, good man, good man. Need more than one vote. We need more than one. And Joseph, how are you doing? I'm doing well, my friend. I'm doing well. It is what it is. I do apologize. The Drunken Footy podcast should have been on Friday night. Should have been on Friday night. However, one thing led to another, and I couldn't make it. Right, so bear with me. Bear with me, guys, right? Hang on. There you go. Just, where am I now? There you go. I'm back. Don't worry. Yeah, no problem. I will not be on my own for long, but anyway, in the meantime, Joseph, hope you're well, my friend. I'm not doing too badly, actually. I'm not doing too badly. I've had an interesting day. Check out my my Twitter for any details. But no, it was. I spoke to family today. Well, Liam, my little cousin, I basically, call him my little brother. Really, we're so close. He normally comes over before COVID, it was like every 3 months, and then I'd go over to him as well. We haven't seen each other for nearly a year, over a year now, and it's fucking breaking me at times. But we had a good video call earlier on, and love him to bits. If he's watching this, Liam, I love you to bits, as you know. But I did put a screenshot of us on the chat, and we had a great chat, and Liam. I can't wait till we see each other again and we go to clubbing, everything else. Okay, Ellis, Way Brownie's back. I am back, my friend. Bit drunk, but that is what the Drunken Footy podcast is. For people who don't know, yeah, the Drunken Footy podcast is only one rule. You have to drink from the start to the finish. But I am not having any sober people doing a Drunken Footy podcast. That is the golden rule if you come in on the panel. Anyway, how are you guys? Do me a favour, keep an eye on the Tottenham score for me. Keep an eye on the Tottenham score for me. I know it's 3-1. I've gone for 3-1. They scored a third very early, so there's a lot of minutes to be played, and I can't cash out at the moment. So keep an eye on the Tottenham score for me, yeah? Right, 6 people in the chat. How many likes? Oh, fucking hell. Hang on one sec, guys. Hang on one sec. Shitting hell. Sorry, guys. Just 1 sec. I'll go off camera for a minute because I need to send the details for the guests. All right, here we go. I'm back. Sorry, lads. I just had to send the link to the guest. We're actually having two very good friends of mine come on. Different, both West Ham fans as well. So be a different kind of drunken footy podcast tonight. Yeah, I'm doing well, Joe. Oh, sorry, my friend. Right. Ellis says 5 likes. Come on. 5 7. Get out of the bloody 500. Do my head in with 500. Anyway, keep an eye on the Tottenham score for me, yeah? Anyway, are you guys drinking anyway? Are you guys drinking in the chat? And before we go any further, right, that's my Facebook, Football Brownie, my Instagram. Come on, bloody ticker. There you go. Like, share, and most importantly, subscribe, guys. Get the subscriber mark up. Football Brownie on YouTube, and that's my Twitter. Let's do a little bit of advertising before the guests turn up. There you go. 10% off your clothing range. Awayday.apparel.co.uk. Quote Football Brownie. Capital F, capital W, capital B. The amount of people get in touch with me, it's not working because they're not putting the bloody capitals in, are they? And Flubber's in the show. Big up for Flubber. Right, guys, Craig Powell, yeah? I've known Flubber for many, many years. And me and him went on that notorious trip to Villarreal where I was banned, Flubber, when I was banned during that time. So we flew into Seville. We went up, we hired a car, and on the way back, I was so drunk and wrecked, I could not. The signs were in kilometers per hour, like 140, and I thought it was miles per hour. So I was going, really bombing back down from Villarreal to Sevilla. That was a great trip, Flubber, a great trip. And Matthew. Hi, Matthew. Hope you're well, my friend. Hope you're well. And, okay. All right, we got one guest coming. Here we go. Hey, Frankie, how are you, my friend?
I'm good, mate. How are you?
Yeah, not too bad. Guys, Frankie from Isaac Hayton TV or something now, Frankie. No, you changed
Isla's Army, mate. At Isla's Army.
Isla's Army. How's the campaign going?
Yeah, it was going really well, mate. We've done 28,000-ish last month, so really, really good. Isla's been really poorly, but she's starting to well, she's back home. So, they was in the hospital continuously for a couple of weeks. The fact that she's been able to go home now, mate, is really good news. So that's a positive, mate. So that's important.
Well, I'll put the description in the... I put the link in the description to your campaign after the video. Are you drinking? That's the main thing, Frankie. That's the...
Don't worry about the drinking. What I want to know
about... No, it's drunk. Go on.
What I want to know about is Mick McCarthy. That's what I want to know about, my man. The man that you slated, that you slagged off, that you weren't having round you.
I did.
And I know you give it all that humble pie, mate, but it's gone past humble pie now, mate. That man is achieving wonders. And the big question, mate, are you going to get in the playoffs?
I always said, Frank, and I think you know this, I always said it may have been a couple of weeks too late. I did say that. It was the problem with Championship, unlike Premier League, is that there are more teams, more games to be played. I think this week is the first non-midweek game we have had for months, I think. And it was you can't hide from the fact it was a poor result away on Friday. 0-0.
Do you think it was that poor? Do you think that was that poor? I know they've been in freefall and I know they've been out of form, but at some points in this season, they've been a good side. And I don't think they're... I don't think they're terrible, mate. I don't think it was an awful result. I think, you haven't lost. Yeah, it was a minor blip, but that point, that can make all the difference. And, mate, I don't see it as a terrible, terrible result. You're not going to win every game. To get a draw against Huddersfield, for me, wasn't that disappointing. I think it was just one of them, you take it on the chin, you go again. I get what you're saying. If you want to get in them playoff spots, they're the games that you gotta win. Yeah. But I still don't think it's the be-all and end-all, mate. I still think you've got a chance. We said it before. There's always a team that come out of nowhere and get in the playoffs and always do well. And at the moment, for me, you're that team, mate. So fingers crossed.
It's starting to break away now. More than 3 points are starting. The gap of more than 3 points is starting to be created between certain different teams. I think Bristol City, I think, have had it. Barnsley are the ones, man. Barnsley they've really been turning it on, and I've been looking at their running. They're running in very easy compared to some of the others. We've now 4 points, I think, away from the playoffs, I think, after that draw. Listen, even if we didn't make it, we aren't worried about relegation, which we were before Mick McCarthy. And that is a godsend.
Yeah,
because our parachute payments are running out in the summer, you see, Frank.
Mm.
And I don't know how much the budget will be. I know Mick McCarthy can play on a budget, but
yeah, it's tough. And,
I don't
that's
know. You know,
we
it's
done
like,
it.
as a West Ham fan, it's like a budget.
No, we do, mate. And we did it. But it was the first year. But the year when we lost to Palace in the playoff final, it was probably the best thing that happened to us because we weren't ready, and we hadn't built a squad that was ready to go back to the Premier League yet. So I think if we'd have gone up, I think there was a good chance we'd have come straight back down. That one extra season of building a little bit more to when we went up, we had that just a little bit more edge, that little bit more stability around us. I think that actually done us a favour. So. I know you've turned it around. It's good. If you go straight up and you was to, produce a miracle and go up through the playoffs, are you going to come straight back down? It's a tough one. But like you say, if that parachute payment's going to go, mate.
Yeah. That is the key, Frank. That is the key. That's going to go in the summer. Because normally, if we had stayed up for more than one season, we would have a further year of parachute payments. But unfortunately, we didn't. So it's going in the summer, which really means how the hell are we going to maintain that kind of player budget if the owner doesn't put his hand in his pocket, basically.
Yeah, tough. Really tough.
Anyway,
and you've got to be careful down there, mate. It is about investment, but throwing money at it ain't the answer either, is it? You've got to be... look at us. We've made some signings this season, cheap signings really, with Souček and Soufal and players like that, and it's really paid off. The previous season, we bought Anderson on top money and Hilaire on top money, and they did nothing. So it ain't about throwing money at it either. It is about the right people coming in. So I don't know, mate.
Come on, let's talk about West Ham.
What do you want to know about us, mate? I know is I'm watching this Tottenham game at the moment, mate, and they're coming. Tottenham are really finding a bit of form again, and Gareth Bale's finding his form, Kane's finding his form. So after the injury, so they're coming after us, mate. So all I know is we've got a Monday night. We got to win. That Leeds game has become massive for our season now.
I've gone through one Tottenham. I've done that at 1-1. Okay, so keep an eye out on that.
Well, you just need it to run out now. You've got 17 minutes for it to stay the same. So.
I know. And I couldn't.
But Mourinho, to be fair, what's Mourinho going to do now? Shut up shop. He loves doing it. So he's 3-1. He ain't going to attack to try and get another goal. He's going to try and kill that game off. So you've got a good chance, mate. You've got a good chance.
I hope so. Cheddar agrees with me in the chat as well. But I don't know. It was too early for that third goal, in my opinion. But we'll see. We'll see. Come on, West Ham. So you got a game tomorrow, yeah?
Big game, mate. Leeds. It's going to be a tough game. It's not going to be an easy game. Leeds are never an easy team to play. Hot and cold, mate. Sometimes they look good and they look on fire, and then other times they look a bit drained. And the way Bielsa has his team there and the demand that he has on them and the energy levels, I think they have a a sort of game where they fly, and then that demand on them sort of apparently Bielsa sides always fade away second half of the season, but we're not seeing that. And I think Bielsa, a lot of people like to give him stick and really dig him out when Leeds are not performing. Mate, I think everyone's forgetting this is the first year in the Premier League, and they've had some spells where they've had some dodgy results, but at the end of the day, mate, they ain't looked over their shoulder once. Not once this season have they been looking over their shoulder thinking, we need to get some results because we could end up in the relegation zone here. They've been completely out of it. I think they've looked a really good side. And to be honest, they haven't... The players that they've got there, I'm not sure they deserve to, or you would expect them to be doing as well as they are. So I think Bielsa gets a lot of stick because of the type of character he is. But, mate, I'll give him all the credit in the world. I liked
him when he was in charge of Bilbao, you see. I liked him when he was in charge of Bilbao. Don't get me wrong, Frank. He left the teams open. But it was proper Kevin Keegan kind of stuff, when he was at Newcastle.
Yeah.
I don't know. Do you think Leeds would back him in the summer if he stayed? But I don't even know if he will stay.
I think he will. I mean, I watched the All or Nothing series with a minute, and that owner, for someone who's got no affiliation with Leeds United Football Club, he wants the absolute best for that football team. And I think he will back them. And I think next year you'll see Leeds really invest. And I even think in the current climate, I think they'll have a go. And I really do. And I think it'll be interesting to see them next year. Yeah. The one thing that I know about tomorrow is that we have got this never say die, hard working together attitude where we're relentless on that football pitch. Well, one thing tomorrow, that's not going to be enough against Leeds United, mate, because they will give exactly the same. So tomorrow it is going to be about class, and we are going to have to, we're not going to outwork them. We're going to have to be on the top of our game. We're going to have to put the ball in the back of the net and create chances. And
but in all fairness to West Ham, Frank, you give Leeds a footballing lesson up in Ellen Road last time.
Yeah, no, we did.
You really did. But you had Masaraku. He was a difference at that time.
Yeah, and I thought we'd miss Masaraku. When he went, I thought that was going to be a massive blow to us. We haven't missed him as much as I thought we would. Well, the league form and where we are in the league shows that. So, I thought that was going to be a big blow to us, and actually we've coped with that quite well. So, it's going to be an interesting one, and. Is it going to be that open? Are we both going to go at it, or is Moyes going to go up there and try and sit deep and make it difficult for him? I don't know. I'd like to think we're going to have to go and try and play. And mate, the thing about it is, for a neutral, it's going to be a blooming good game of football tomorrow, mate, because it's all to play for us. So.
I told you to keep an eye on it, Frankie.
Oh, is it?
Fucking hell,
it is as well, mate. It is as well.
Fucking shit.
It's that man, Harry Kane again, set up by Son.
You see, betting when I'm drunk.
Hang on. Mate, goal under review for offside. VAR have stepped in. They're checking it.
Get in here.
Come on, the VAR.
Calm the fuck down, Mourinho. Calm the fuck down, son.
Come on, the VAR. Hold on, there's a VAR review to see whether there was an offside in the build-up to the goal. The referee is checking now. Come on, the VAR.
So what Souček, are you to Barcelona? Now, I'm not hearing any of that over here, Frank. I'll be honest with you. The main stories over here is about the presidential election with Barcelona, which is basically on March the 7th, March today or tomorrow. It's something coming up anyway. And you got three candidates going for it, basically neck and neck, all three of them, all different. Versions of how they want to take that club forward. I don't understand how Barcelona get linked to all these different players if they don't know who the hell the president is going to be. Do you know what I'm saying? It's clickbait. It really is clickbait. It has to be.
It sounds like rubbish to me. At the end of the day, I think he's enjoying his football so much, mate. It's a difficult one, isn't it? He's enjoying his football. He's playing really well. I think he's enjoying where he is as well. I think there's that real camaraderie with the players at the moment, and I think all of them are getting on so well. There's such a good spirit around it. He's only come to the Premier League he's only been there 5 minutes. Why is he going to want to jump ship? However, if you did get a big offer like that, It's probably the only chance in his career that his offer is ever going to be on the table. And it's really difficult to turn that down, whether or not you're enjoying your football or not. So, to be honest, it's probably the wrong move. If it's say in hindsight, it is genuine, it's legit, and they're coming in and they're placing a bid. He cannot say no. However, it's definitely the wrong move. He'll go there. He won't play. He'll probably sit on the bench. His career will fade away. He'll then probably move somewhere else. It won't be the same, and that's it. So, however, you'd have to make the move, mate. It's no different to Declan Rice at the moment. If the big teat boy's coming for Declan Rice, he's got to move, isn't he? That's the way the world.
No, you are right. I find it not just with Souček, but. Hector Bellerin and Barcelona linked to him all the time, and I'm thinking, hang on, they don't know which way they're going to fucking go until after the election.
Yeah,
how are they getting? It has to be clickbait. It's weird. It's proper weird. Anyway, well, I mean, Cardiff City, mate. When are we gonna be playing you again, Frankie? When are we gonna be playing you again, eh?
Well, it's a hard one, isn't it? Again. Same with us. When we was in the cup, we're out of the cup now, and I'm not too disappointed because who wants to go to a cup final this year? No one. Who wants to go to a playoff final this year? No one. It's probably the worst year. What would happen if you got to the playoff final and it was normal times? Would you be on a plane? Would you be going?
Without doubt.
That's what I'm saying. Doubt. So you don't want it. End of the day, if you could choose right now, if someone turned around to you and said, you're not going to get the playoffs this year. However, next year you will be going to a playoff final. You take it all day long because
something tells me Cardiff Swansea playoff final.
It would be amazing.
Something tells me Cardiff Swansea playoff final at Wembley. Now I don't know if you know the COVID rules in Wales and England are different. Wales are more stricter, so people in Wales can't go over. However, I can fly from Malaga. And potentially, I could be the only fucking fan in Wembley, man. You know?
I love it, mate. I love it. He's got it all worked out.
Oh, honestly, I got it all worked out, but I don't know. Frankie, any idea when you're going to be coming over? And I'm not on about. I'm on about Calahonda.
Well, mate, like I say, the first opportunity, we're still not quite there yet. But I mean, at the second, and I do mean. The second they say it's all systems go, I will book a flight instantly and I'll be there. And for multiple reasons, mate. One, because I miss it like mad and I just cannot wait to get over there. And not only that, but when the holidays come around again, mate, they're going to be in such demand. They're going to go through the roof. And them airlines, anyone who thinks them airlines ain't going to make their money back that they've lost, they will make it back. No problem, mate, because everyone's going to go mad for it. So,
but you guys back home are so ahead of us here on the vaccines. Is incredible, absolutely incredible.
We're not going to go political on it, mate, but we all know the reason why. No. And it is because we ain't got the red tape that you lot have got by the other mob. So it's regardless of what your opinions are on that situation, it's sorted us out.
Frankie. I look forward to it, and I'm convinced West Ham will have a team from Gibraltar in a qualifying round of the Champions League. That'd be great. Do
you know what? That's one thing I'm just praying for, right? Listen, I live with my mate who's a Liverpool fan. I don't give anyone any stick when it comes to football, right? Because as a West Ham fan, it comes around so fast.
Yeah.
I mean, we can not beat Liverpool for 30 years. That's how it is. So there's no point in giving anyone stick because then for the next 30 years, it's coming your way. So I never give him any stick. I've not dug him out. I ain't even mentioned the result today to him. But, it's like... I don't know. The one thing, the whole YouTube world at the moment, I'm watching some of these channels and I'm watching some of these pundits and I'm watching some of the YouTube football shows. Everyone's sitting there going, West Ham will drop out of it. West Ham will drop out of it. Everyone is saying it. And I would just love for us to do it and then turn around and stick two fingers up at them because it's that typical top six mentality at the moment.
Yeah,
they think it's a given right that they've got to be in that top six, mate. And no one's got a right to be there.
Well, I don't know if you were listening. I don't know if he's still there, but Craig Powell, he said mental trip. Basically, remember when Everton broke into the top 4 and they went to a Champions League? But because Liverpool won it the year before and they finished 5th, they were allowed in it as well. Do you remember that year? It was like 2000.
I do, yeah, I do.
I was banned, as I was. Right? I was banned and I shouldn't have gone, but me and Craig went out to Villarreal. And you are right. It was, I got a soft spot for Everton, Frankie, although Cardiff, I've always had a soft spot because I enjoyed watching a football in the 80s when Cardiff were 91st out of 92 teams, really in the lower leagues, and Everton were, FA Cup league winners and so on. But I really enjoyed that year because it broke the top 4 mindset of both the media and football fans. The media hated the fact that Liverpool even though they won it the year before, they may not be able to go into the Champions League because they finished 5th. They hated that. And good luck to West Ham. Absolutely, I got a funny feeling West Ham are everybody else's second team this year as we come into the final part of the season. I don't know if you agree with that.
Well, that mate, that's always been the case. I mean, we've got a documentary on Amazon called Everybody's Second Team, and West Ham have always been a bit like that, mate. I think I used to go to school with all my pals, and they all used to love coming to West Ham. One, because the atmosphere. They never got the atmosphere at their team's grounds. Like a lot of Charlton fans used to come, Arsenal fans used to come with me, and they used to love it. The buzz they used to get from the atmosphere at West Ham was unbelievable. We've always played good football. We always have our moments in our day. We are a proper club, mate, and we've lost a little bit of that now. And my mates who used to come to Upton Park, who used to love every second of it, ain't got no interest in going to London Stadium whatsoever, mate. And they've been, and they just say it's just not the same, and it's not, and it's a shame. So I don't know, mate. Do I expect everyone to back us? I don't know, but all I know is there's a new breed of football fans, mate, and it is the typical people that you see on these silly shows and talk crap, basically, and they wind me right up. And at the end of the day,
what are you talking about my channel, Frank? What are you talking about, my channel?
Not you. This is one of the old school ones. This is one of the ones that are proper, mate, and this is what we love. But them silly Tottenham fans and Arsenal fans and all their swearing and all their attitude they've got, and they're sort of given. They just expect that it's a given for them to be in the top 6 and so on. And mate, it's just they just don't know what football's all about, mate. They ain't got a clue.
No,
and I would love to just prove a massive point to all of those types of football fans and just give them a lesson, mate, that you can't sit there and write people off, because at the end of the day, in football, anything can happen. You'd think they'd have learnt their lesson with Leicester when they went and done what they did and stuff like that. But
that brings me on to something, because I was on a podcast a couple of days ago, and people were like, "Are West Ham the new Leicester?" And I said, "No, they're not." And the reason being, not because they may not win the league, it was because the owners of Leicester really integrated with the fans.
Yeah, massive.
It's different with West Ham.
Very
the
different.
Owners, I'm gonna be
the
owners are fucking cunts.
This is the truth. This hasn't happened through foresight, through building something, through good management of a football club. This is a pure and utter fluke. That's what this is. It's pure luck that we are where we are. It's not good buying. It's not good transfer. It's not good scouting. It's not good. It's none of that. All of those things that it takes, like Leicester did when they built foundations and they had a 5-year plan and they put everything into place and it was done brilliantly. It wasn't that. With us, we are absolutely here. David Moyes, no one ever would have thought he would be where he is in the league now and getting the performances that he is. That's a fluke that he come back for a second time. Souček, Nobody knew who he was. We were struggling to buy players. That was a fluke. No one could have seen. And it isn't that someone's gone. It isn't that, David Sullivan's gone over there with an unbelievable scout and found this gem of a player. And they said, we know this guy is going to be the absolute take to the Premier League like a duck to water. It wasn't that. It was they just bought someone from the Czech League on the cheap, and he's come in. And it's all absolute luck. That's all it is.
Oh,
and
come
at the
on,
end,
Frankie.
but it's the truth.
You're discrediting Moyes and his backroom staff, surely.
Do you know what? That, again, is a fluke. So David Moyes comes in. It is, mate. So David Moyes comes in, right? David Moyes comes in, can't get a win. Can't get a win to save his life. Was one loss away from having the worst managerial record in West Ham's history. Then all of a sudden he realises he can't manage on his own. So he goes out and brings in a number 2. He brings him in. Then he goes and gets Nevin. Then he goes and gets Pearce. Then he goes and gets Nolan. Mate, it has worked, but we must be the only club in world football that's got 5 first-team coaches. Who else has 5 first-team coaches? It's mad. But I can't knock it. It has absolutely worked. But if you've got 5 coaches who have been at international level in football, all managing different parts of that football team, from the defence to the midfield to the attack, and then you've got a manager overseeing it, well, you'd think they'd be able to achieve something. And they have. And what they've done is superb. And I give them all the credit in the world. What they've done is absolutely fantastic. And I'm over the moon for them. I genuinely am over the moon for them. And I'm over the moon for West Ham fans. Because finally, in all this adversity that's going on at the moment, we've actually got something nice that's happening in our world. And it's lovely to see. And it's brilliant. But it was pure fluke.
You just don't want to give Moyes bloody credit. That's your problem.
Well, it is what it is.
I'll tell you what, Frank, is that not just West Ham, but a lot of the clubs now are getting rid of the scouting network, right? And they go in on online statistics, blah, 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 right? I was dead against that until I learned to a fact that Moyes used that to get Souček, Kofel, and in all credit, I mean, if this way of scouting brings in cheap players like that who can make a huge difference, then I'm all for it. What about you?
Mate, I work in numbers in my day job. That's what I do. And I can make numbers.
Yeah, I know.
I can manipulate numbers to say whatever I want them to say. Whatever I want them to say.
That was my mindset before realising that Moyes had to do this.
I've been here before. We've been here before. When Sam Allardyce was at West Ham, Sam Allardyce was probably... well, no, he wasn't. He was the first manager to use sports science in football. He was really for it. He was a very, very advanced manager in foreseeing what was going to come and how things were going to be done. He signed Matt Jarvis because he put in more crosses than anyone else in the Premier League. Not did he realise that he didn't get any assists from those crosses because they were all absolutely shit. So it's so easy to turn around and say, oh, yeah, I'm going to put this player in because, look, we need someone who can... Say you got Andy Carroll up front or you got a big target man. Oh, yeah, what we're going to do, let's go and look at the statistics and pick out the person who puts in more crosses than anyone else. And that's easy to do, but it's not saying his crosses are any good. So I get what you're saying and I do understand it. And I think that should be used to go and send someone to actually go and properly look at what that person's doing. I not just base it all on pure data because there's very different things that happen in game.
I do hate statistics. You're looking at Cardiff. We beat Derby a few days ago or last Wednesday or something. 35% possession. We won 4-0.
Mate,
I've just seen it. A lot more.
I've just seen it again. What you've just said, another perfect example. Someone on Twitter a minute ago tweeted saying, whatever the commentator was today for the Man United game, Martin Tyler, I think it was, whoever it was. Oh, he said that Man United are dominating Man City or to giving them a lesson, whatever it was. And he put the statistic up. They had 66 possession for Man City. And then he had the Manchester United possession up there as well, as if that possession meant that you're dominating that football match. And possession means nothing.
It means fuck all.
Leicester on the league on having less possession every single game that they play.
A defender could pass amongst the other defenders and the goalkeeper for half an hour.
That's right.
You know what I mean? Right, hang on, Frank. I need to open another bottle of wine. Fuck this.
Get the wine, mate. Get the wine.
Here we go. I'm doing it online. No, you are right. I think football is going now more of counter-attacking, sitting back, rather than
the reason for that, mate, the reason for that, and what people again are not understanding. Mate, I'm not saying I'm a football expert. I'm not. No. I listened to Didier Drogba when he was he'd done an interview. It's on YouTube, and he was talking about how you beat the press. And teams like City and Liverpool all come over with this new pressing style of football, the Klopp style of football from Europe, and nobody knew how to play against it, and it caught everyone by surprise. And that's why Liverpool run away with it, because nobody knew what they had to do. Liverpool are not just in the position they're in because of Van Dijk and the injuries they've got. The reason why that they're on the decline, they've been found out. And people now know how to play against the press. And Didier Drogba said, the way you play against the press, like you just said, you're organised, you've got your banks, but one thing you always do is every pass goes forward. That's how you beat the press. Even if it's a missed pass, doesn't matter, that's going to happen. Always play forward, because then you get beyond their lines and then they can't press anymore. And that's what managers have worked out. And that's why City had their blip, because City were playing that way. Now, the thing that Guardiola's had over Klopp is Guardiola's gone and found another way of playing football. Klopp hasn't, because he only knows how to play one way, and that's the problem. So,
and it's very similar to what happened at the end of his Dortmund days as well, Frank.
Yeah,
you know. I'm going back back in the day, Frank, right? I know you can do all these different formations and so on, but you cannot outplay a midfield, right across the midfield, who has 5 in the midfield. You cannot outplay that. Whether it is like a 3-4-3, a bloody 4-3-3 or whatever, you know, if you've got 5 across the midfield, there's no way you can outplay that or you shouldn't be able to outplay that midfield with less people in that. Would you agree on that? I mean,
yeah, no, I get it, mate, and you're absolutely right, and that is the whole point, isn't it? But again, there are ways that you can counter that, but it's whether or not you know what. And this is the whole point, isn't it? People like Frank Lampard, who came in and he hadn't learnt his stripes enough yet. Again, this is the whole point. If you want to be a top level manager, you got to go through everything. You've got to experience adversity. You've got to experience a side and what you need to do when you're up against the wall. You've got to experience a side that's at the top and knows how to win things. You've got to experience everything. And there's no good in a manager just always having it good in their playing career and then think they're going to go and be a manager. And then when they fall upon hard times, they don't know what to do. There are so many different circumstances in football, and earn your stripes. That's the whole point. Earn your stripes, know and learn, and get a good understanding of anything that can happen, and then you can go and do the business. The one person who's against that at the moment is what Steven Gerrard's just achieved. However,
I know. Well, very, haven't very different. Anything yet, but
that's
know
it. And this is what I'm trying to get at. They'll look at that and they'll go, what an unbelievable story, what a success story to take a side from where they were to winning the championship and by such a big margin and everything else. Go and stick him in at a top club, or go and stick him at Liverpool tomorrow instead of Klopp, and he won't do nothing, mate. And it's because he just hasn't learned all his stripes yet.
I'm actually thinking of doing a watch along for the next Old Firm next week or week after. I don't know if you fancy joining it.
Oh, yeah, definitely. I'm well up
for that. I think it's great for Scottish football, actually, that they got more than one team to challenge. But whether, because I remember Souness winning everything at Rangers, he came to Liverpool, and rubbish. Went to Blackburn,
point,
rubbish. Newcastle, rubbish.
When Steven Gerrard goes to his next team, he needs to go to an absolute mid-table, very basic side and learn some more stripes before he goes into that top-level management role, because otherwise it just won't work out. Cardiff would do. Mate. Cardiff would do. You've already experienced that with old Solskjaer and players like that.
Fucking hell. I tried to get my friend on, who I was working with, football agent wise. And when Solskjaer came in, didn't want to know us. He brought in about 8 shit Norwegian players, all represented by the same agent. Lo and behold, we nearly hit League One within a year and a half. You know, it just shows how how it is with some of these people. They all linked up to certain agents, wouldn't talk to others. You know. But
talk to me, man, about the Master and Apprentice from last night, because that was very, very interesting. Is this man gonna continue on like he is, and is Haaland gonna be the new world beater, or is because Lewandowski really proved to him last night that he's not quite the number one guy yet? Because Lewa, saw what he did, and he got his bit between the teeth and went, right, I'm going to show you now who's the boss, and Lewandowski did.
I don't rate the German league. I've never rated the German league, and recent results with Werner and Kai Havertz have shown that, right? But over here, the Real Madrid presidential campaign starting to kick off now. I think it's in November. It's really starting to kick off. I know that the redevelopment of the Bernabeu is way ahead of what it should be, because COVID, they've not been playing at the Bernabeu, so they've been using the COVID issue to get the redevelopment on the stadium going, right? However, Florentino Perez knows that the votes go on what happens on the pitch rather than off the pitch. And let's be honest, Real Madrid have been dog shit for the last 2 years. They didn't buy anybody the last transfer window. Absolute dog shit. Because all the money, all the available money was going into the redevelopment. So the campaign has now gone on to, okay, no problem at all. We need to get recognised names in year. We got one transfer window left, which is the summer transfer window before the election. If we can go Galactico again, like he did before with Zidane, Roberto Carlos, Beckham, if we can go Galactico again, and then those Galactico names will be the name of the pictures of a club as we go back into the Bernabeu, that is where the campaign is heading. Can they afford it? At the moment, no. So where have they gone? The people who meant to be taking over Newcastle, but the Premier League rejected them, they've gone to Saudi Arabia, who have all of a sudden sponsored Real Madrid's women's team, Saudi Arabian women's team, €150 million. So we got that back in. They are going to Saudi Arabia. Real Madrid are going to Saudi Arabia for money, and they need to do it before the summer transfer window. There's been rumours they'll have either Mbappe or Haaland Mbappe, but the Spanish media are saying, look, you need both of them. To win that election, you need both of them in the summer. If you approach Dortmund, they got a buyout clause with Haaland next summer, what, 80 million or whatever? If you approach Dortmund now and say, right, we'll give you 125 million, 130 million, Dortmund ain't going to reject that. They're not. Mbappe is a different type of kettle of fish, really, especially if they go to Saudi and PSG are owned by a different state.
Yeah.
You know, very
Let's talk about mate. That's interesting all round. I think there's nothing worse for the sport of football, and if Real Madrid and other big people get taken over by Saudi Arabian money and Saudi Arabian investment, I think I've got to go and find another sport, mate, because our sport is already damaged enough. That to me would be the nail in the coffin. If they do start getting their claws into world football, for me, that's game over. And I think I've got to go and find another sport to follow, mate, to be honest.
But Frank, Real Madrid have a history of it. I mean, you go back to the 30s, 40s, 50s, and Franco was using Real Madrid to spread his message across Europe. That's why he put a stop to the likes of, oh, jeez, okay, I've drunk now, right? But no, but there were certain players under Franco's regime who had to apply to play for Barcelona. He would put a stop to that. He said, you can come to Spain and play on condition you play for Real Madrid. You know?
Right, yeah.
The first player who he did not do that to was actually Johan Cruyff.
Right.
That's the first player, and that was at, 70s? It's really interesting, the history of Real Madrid, Barcelona, and political-wise.
Yeah.
But you are right. I don't like it. But unfortunately, business is business, I suppose.
I know, I get that, mate. And there's not a lot we could do about it. But it's just such a shame. The boxing's going over there now. The only good thing about the boxing going over there is that at least it's on at sensible time, not Las Vegas times.
Yeah.
So that's the one positive about boxing going there, is you don't have to sit up till 4 o'clock in the morning to watch a fight. But it's still a massive shame that if all British big, if Fury versus Joshua ends up there, what a shame, because we've all followed their careers, we've all been to Wembley watching them, we've all been through their whole journey, and then for us to then miss out on that, mate, I've got to be honest with you, I've got zero in. If it was in Germany, in some massive arena, if it's in Las Vegas, mate, you want to get on that plane and you want to go. You don't mind much. But I've got no interest whatsoever in flying to Saudi Arabia. None. Zero. I've got no interest whatsoever. And it's not me being, discriminating against them or anything like that.
No.
It's just not for me.
The word they call it is like sportification or something like that. Basically, we all know the issues between Saudi Arabia and what they, with women. They treat women, apparently they treat women, disrespectful. All of a sudden, they're sponsoring a women's team at Real Madrid.
Yeah.
They're using that to get a better PR. It's all PR, Frank. It's all PR.
Of course it is. But for me, it's
really
not
distasteful.
There are certain places in the world I have no interest in going on holiday. But what I'm saying is that's one of them. I'm not saying I don't want to go there because of what happens politically or what happens in their culture. That's not what I'm talking about. What I'm talking about is there are places that loads of people would love to go on holiday, and I've got absolutely zero interest in going there. Saudi Arabia is one of them places. It's not on my tick list. However, take boxing aside, I'd love to go to Las Vegas. Do you know what I mean? What a trip. It's amazing. So for me, it's just, it hasn't got that appeal. It hasn't got that draw, and I'm sure it's lovely. Same as Dubai. I've got no interest in going to Dubai on holiday whatsoever. A manufactured, man-made place that is all false. I've got no interest in going there, mate. I'd rather go.
I am actually going there soon.
Well, there you go, mate. But I would rather personally go to the back streets of Dubrovnik or something like that and see a proper bit of culture. That's how it
fair
is.
Enough. That's fair enough.
Do you know what I mean?
Boxing-wise, you good in about... you like watching the boxing and that then?
Boxing is probably my number one thing, mate. I love the boxing. I get involved with a few of the fighters, because obviously I used to go to MTK gym out in Marbella, so I used to go there. Shut down now, unfortunately, so I'm going to miss out on that. But there is another little one that's opened not so far down the road where Nav Mansouri is training at the moment, so I'll get out there. And I love boxing's my thing, mate. For me, it is the sweet science. When people call it the sweet science, for me, that's what it is. I can't have that UFC boxing stuff and all that. But
I'm the same. I'm the same. Kawasaki. I used to love following Joe Kawasaki. Me and the ex-wife, and we went to that Jeff Lacey fight. And I'll tell you, I probably I may be a biased fan, but I would say that Jeff Lacey fight, Joe Kawasaki was the best performance for a British boxer in my lifetime.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, it's up there, mate. It's definitely up there.
And then on my stag night was the Manchester boxer, Ricky Hatton.
I loved Ricky.
He went to Las Vegas and fought Manny Mayweather and got battered, didn't he? He got battered.
It was a shame. That was one of the. I loved Ricky Hatton, mate, and I think we haven't taken to somebody like that in boxing since, because he was he was just one of the lads down the pub. That's what he was. He wasn't anything else. Sometimes character means a lot, and we haven't got any characters like that at the top level in boxing at the moment. His son's looking very good, by the way. And yeah, you're right. You're spot on in football as well, mate. You're 100%. But it will be very interesting to see how his son comes through, because his son it's like a mini Ricky Hatton, and I'm really gonna look forward to seeing his career grow. I don't even have that sort of sentimental value of Eubank and Ben. Eubank obviously has never really caught the imagination because he's just not lived and breathed it, and he hasn't been good enough. But Ben is a prospect, but even that I'm not excited by. But the young Ricky Hatton Jr., I'm really Campbell Hatton. I'm looking forward to that massively. I'm really. Well,
I grew up. My hometown is Merthyr Tydfil, which is absolutely, when it comes to boxing, so the link between Merthyr and boxing is massive. Howard Winstone, world champion. Johnny Owen, world champion.
Where was Thingy out of? Lee Selby? What part of Wales was he?
Barry. Yeah, Barry. No, I know that. Well, through the ex-wife, I know Lee Selby and the Selby family, not just Lee, but his brother as well. They had a hard upbringing, one thing or another. But Johnny Owen, he died in a ring in 1981, I think it was, in Las Vegas as well. That was defending his world championship. I love the boxing. I really do love the boxing. I mean, Kawasaki was different. Do you think Kawasaki dodged certain fighters as a non-probably Welshman?
Tough to say he dodged.
That's always been the claim, hasn't it?
Yeah, but I mean, he got in the ring with Hopkins, he got in the ring with Eubank, he got in the ring with all the big boys, mate, didn't he? And I'm not sure I buy that. I think he did. I think he fought what was out there, to be honest. And there's a couple of fighters there's a couple of fights that you would have liked him to have got in the ring with, a couple of other fighters. Yeah. But mate, surely that's the same with every boxer's career.
Yeah,
I know. You can't fight them all, because it's not possible. I'd love it if boxing was like that, but it's not.
Yeah. I mean, you look at Pacquiao and Mayweather. They should have bloody fought each other 20 years ago, basically.
That whole Mayweather thing, right? And this is going to sound a bit, I don't know, conspiracy theorist and a little bit weird, right? But I firmly believe that when you sign a contract with Mayweather right now, you're signing into a WWE entertainment agreement, not a boxing contract. And I'm pretty sure it's scripted from start to finish, but they get that big payday. Because I see fighters like the Pacquiao fight, like the McGregor fight, get in with him, and they're not their normal self. And it's not because of weight, and it's not because of things are in his way. For me, I think it's scripted. But if someone turned around to you in your career and said, right, I'm going to give you 100 million, but you've got to get in this ring, and basically this is how it's going to be. You're going to jump in there.
I'd be handing my bank details over.
You know, didn't you? That's right. And that's it. And I'm pretty sure that's what happens with Mayweather. I don't see it as I don't think they're proper boxing fights. I think they're entertainment fights. I really do.
That's fair enough. Right, I'm going to chat a little bit. Indiana, thank you very much, my friend. Thank you very much. Jack, do you like rugby? Do you like rugby, Frank, or not?
I've given it a go, mate. I've got to be honest. Well, I was that game the other day with all the controversy, mate, between you boys and our boys. This is my problem. I don't understand the game enough to know whether or not there was legitimate calls for the ref being biased or anything else, because I don't understand the rules in detail enough. Yeah. I've been to games at Twickenham. I've enjoyed it. Every time Reunion's on, I enjoy it. When in the is it still the Six Nations now? The Six Nations?
Yeah, I know.
I enjoy the Six Nations. I enjoy the World Cup. But would I sit down and watch it any other time? Not really. So I enjoy it when it's international and it's the big games. But other than that, it's not for me, mate.
Not for me either, if I'm honest with you. People, it's propaganda, really, between Welsh people and rugby. And I'll be honest with you, you may know this, Frank, coming to Penarth every now and then. But if you look, the media attention with the BBC, they plough all their money, all their sport money into rugby, and football get nothing, absolutely nothing. But yet the figures don't reflect that. If you looked at club rugby in Wales and the attendances they get, compare that to club football in Wales, absolutely club football smash it out of the window. The internationals. My dad's birthday is on February the 18th. Six Nations.
What day?
Always come February the 18th.
Same as me, mate.
You're joking?
No, it's exactly the same as me.
But the home Six Nations would always fall in that period. So because I lived in Penarth, he was up in the valleys. It would be a father-son thing. I would sort tickets out and we'll go for his birthday. He was always more rugby and football and I was the other way around. And it was just but I don't know. To get on in Wales, I'll be honest with you, I've been in business, in recruitment, off and on 20 years. But I've had to take an interest in rugby to get certain contracts.
Yeah, it's interesting.
I honest God.
No, I believe you, yeah. No, I get it completely. I get it completely.
Because just because of Cardiff and the reputation of Cardiff in the 80s and the 90s. Scum of the earth and all that. Honestly, I had to take an interest in rugby in Wales to have certain contracts with business. That's God's gospel truth.
Yeah, no, I firmly believe it, mate. And sometimes they say the best business deals are done on a golf course, mate. That's why I started to learn golf because it's facts.
Now it's not a golf course; it's a cycling bloody thing, isn't it?
Yeah.
But in Wales, definitely the rugby pitch, absolutely, definitely. Okay, going forward, where do you fancy West Ham will finish then, Frank? Where do you think?
Come on, like I said,
I know, but
we've got a tough run.
Or dream way.
We've got a tough run. We've got a tough run now. We've got some really tricky games coming up. We've got Man United followed by Arsenal, and mate, the way Arsenal are, we should be able to go and give them a game and maybe get a win there. But that's what I mean. That's the difference between those types of clubs and us.
Yeah,
even though if form suggests we go and wipe Arsenal off the pitch, I'm not looking at it that way, mate. Arsenal's still a good side. Arsenal, on paper, probably are a better side than West Ham United. So, it's a tough game and we're going to find it really hard. So we've got a tough run with Man United. They got a great result today. That's going to give them all the confidence in the world again to press on and try and get that second spot. It's going to be tough. Look, mate, at the end of the day, it's just been enjoyable to have the first season in a very long time where we're not worrying about what could happen. And it's now anything is a bonus. And I would love to stick it. I can't wait to be able to go on every single YouTube football channel and shove it up their arse and tell them, look, that's what we can do. And it would be brilliant. And I'd love every second of it proving them all wrong. However, I'm over the moon with 7th, mate. Like 7th's a great
right, okay,
season.
all right. Let me come back to you, Frank, because you've never been convinced of David Moyes. Am I right in saying that?
Correct.
Right. So if he got you into Europe, would he have you 100% support? And not just yours, but West Ham supporters?
He has my 100% support right now. I think that the board should back him as if he is a long-term manager. I think he should be given the opportunity now. I think he's deserved. I think he's absolutely justified the backing of the manager as a long-term 5-year plan, and he should be backed in the transfer window as if he is our long-term plan. And he is the future of West Ham United. Without any question, he deserves every bit of that. So I am convinced. The only thing that I would say as a caveat to that is while we're getting results, that season we had at Upton Park was so exciting. I mean, you just believed that you'd beat every team, and Payet and Lanzini, they were on fire. And we had a bit of magic about us, and I mean magic. We don't have magic this time. We have hard work, we have determination, which is brilliant, because that's what West Ham have always been about. Even when we've been crap, we've always been triers, and that's what West Ham, that's what it should be. So what David Moyes has bought to West Ham is the minimum I would expect as a West Ham United fan. It just so happens that in these current times, that's been enough for us to have an unbelievable season. Am I excited by the football? No. Do I sit there watching the football going, oh my God, this is incredible, this is brilliant? No, it isn't the best football I've seen as a West Ham United fan. In fact, far, 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 far from it. We don't have the hero. We don't have the magician. We don't have players that you're in awe of and you sit there and go, oh my God, how good is he? We don't have that. But we have grit, determination and hard work. And I'm so glad that that's where we are. But if this was the brand of football that I'm going to see for the next 5 years, I don't think you have another season like this again, personally. So,
okay, let me go back on Moose's comments and on Talk Sport. With you saying that, was Moose actually right?
Moose has never been right about anything in his fucking life. So that's for sure that he weren't. I don't even know what he said, but I know he was wrong.
No, it was basically because the fans weren't there. That's why West Ham are.
It's wrong. It's complete and utter the biggest load of bollocks that I've ever heard.
Right? There's a link between West Ham and Cardiff fans. I'll be honest with you. Right? We can be the most whingiest fucking moaning bastards you'll ever come across in your life. Yeah. Honestly, right? Because we both working class clubs. You know, it can bloody. We have to save up your whole week to go out on a Saturday right? And
this is the point, right?
I think there's a link. I do think there's a link.
This is the point. You know, a minute ago you said about me not backing David Moyes.
Yeah.
I actually give him every single bit of credit for what he's done and achieved, and his backroom staff. And for the first time, like we said earlier on, we're hardworking, we're determined, there's togetherness, there's the whole team. We're fitter than we've ever been in the past decade. And I mean, even in that last season at the Bowling, we weren't fit. We are the fittest West Ham United side in terms of how we can run and run for 90 minutes that I've seen. And that's credit. They're the reasons why we're doing so well. And in fact, Moose's comments are far worse than my lack of support to David Moyes. That is completely discrediting David Moyes. To say it's because the fans are not on their back, and it isn't because of fitness, for the grit and determination, for the togetherness, for the team spirit, and for the hard-working nature of that football team. That's why. And I'm telling you now, this is the biggest point. West Ham fans carry West Ham over the line so many times on occasion. Those big games, when you need that extra man to get West Ham over the line, it's electric. Our fans, we don't actually expect much. And Joe Cole had it bang on. He went on BT Sport and he said, West Ham fans are so easy to please. And that no one could believe he was saying it. But he said all they want is 100%. That's it. Yeah. And if you do, see that game against Man City the other day, that wouldn't have been toxic. Everyone would have been clapping them off the pitch, standing there, there applauding them, saying, we're proud of you, West Ham, for what you've just give on that football pitch. Yeah. That's what we expect. And if you give that, we get behind you like an unbelievable force. Yeah, and at the moment,
we're exactly, in this, Cardiff,
mate, you are. It's exactly the same. And see this crunch time now, where you want this final push to get into Europe, and legs are getting a bit fatigued, and everyone's getting a bit tired, mate. I'm telling you now, if we was in grounds right now with full capacity, with fans allowed, we would have, I would say, probably 35% more chance of getting into Europe than we've got without. Yeah. Because we would absolutely drive them on and get them over that line and get them into Europe. So what Moose said was totally and utter bollocks, mate.
It was all clickbait. We all know it. TalkSport and TalkSport relationship with West Ham. It's a disgrace, if I'm honest with you.
Well,
mate, it goes from Jim White, it goes,
But mate, you say it's TalkSport's a disgrace. Everything they say is only put out because David Sullivan said so. They're just puppets for David Sullivan. So
did you hear about what Simon Jordan said about Andy Cardiff the other day?
No.
Right? Now, you come to Penarth quite often, yeah?
Mm.
Right? You know where the Vela Glamorgan is, Penarth.
Yeah.
Right? Simon Jordan, I much prefer Swansea and Cardiff. Why? They got the Vela Glamorgan, they got this and that. I think, hang on. Villa Glamorgan is fucking Cardiff, not fucking Swansea, mate. It's all clickbait. It's all clickbait.
Of course it is, because at the end of the day, mate, ratings are dropping like a stone on radio.
Yeah, I agree.
And the only way that they can get people to phone in and spend their money on phoning in and having premium phone call costs is by making people irate, so they phone up and want to have a row with them. That's the only way they can get people calling in.
Yeah, I know. Anyway, how's Baz?
Baz is good, mate. He hasn't been working very much. He's found it very difficult because obviously he's a chauffeur, driver, whatever you want to call him. So where there's been no film production and obviously things have all been on stop, he hasn't had any work. So he's started up a new contract this evening. So he will be in his hotel. He will be settled in there for the next 11 days, and he's got the first sustained bit of work that he's had for a very long time. So I'm over the moon for him.
I hope he's fucking watching this, the bastard.
Nah, didn't you?
Right, listen, we'll have to make a move because I got 5% left on battery, my friend. But thank you ever so much. I'll put in a link to your channel, everything in the description.
Lovely, mate.
Hey, Frank. Thank you very much, my friend.
I've enjoyed it, mate. And honestly, mate, it's going to be good to put the world to rights in person when we can finally get there. And maybe we'll find a little boozer somewhere where we can actually stream to people and they can have a beer with us while we're in Spain. It would be a lot of fun.
Love to. Callahan, I don't mind it. It's a fucking fair trek. Do you know what I mean? But
is it?
Yeah,
don't take that long, does it?
You know what? Right? I'm not kidding you, right, Frank? Gibraltar would be what? 45 minutes.
Yeah.
In the fucking boiling hot sun, I used to commute back and forth London from Cardiff 3 hours, no problem. Maybe I'm getting older, right? Because I do really struggle getting Gibraltar in fucking 45 minutes. Maybe I'm getting older. But thank you very much, Frank.
We'll sort you out of a nice chauffeur, mate. We'll get you a nice driver who'll pick you up in a luxury vehicle and bring you down to Calahonda. That's it. That's what we'll do.
Hey, but good luck to West Ham. And good
luck, mate. Thank you very much. Good luck to you.
My heart, good luck to West Ham.
And that watch along you was talking about, mate. I'll do the watch along. That'll be good fun.
Yeah. I need to sort it out. Okay, cheers, Frank.
Mate. Catch you later on, pal.
Okay, before I go, I just want to get round to people's comments before I go. Ellis says, what's going on, Cheddars? Hi, Dave. Hope you're well, my friend. Guys, please, I will do the link to Frankie's channel in the description. Great people, honestly. Lewis says, Jim Chelsea under Conte, he played certain style, won the league, got good comment there. Good comment, my friend. Dave, Brownie, if Cardiff get promoted, who do you think we should buy? Oh, fucking hell. Fucking hell. That is a fucking... Who do you think we should buy if they got promoted? Oh, you know what? It all depends who got relegated, if I'm honest. Yeah. Right? If Cardiff get promoted, I'm all for basically raiding the relegated clubs for their players. Right? Basically, that, you know. Jack, Mayan has COVID. Mayan has COVID, for fuck's sake. Who's Mayan? Come back to me, Jack. Tom, hi, Tom. Hope you're well, my friend. Moyes is back to what he... Yeah, exactly. Frankie, hello, my friend. Hope you're well. Guys, I'm going to have to finish the stream off quite quickly now because my battery on my phone is very, very limited. I do hope that you enjoyed Frankie. Frankie's a great guy. Absolute fucking great guy. I got a bit pissed. But fuck it. Hey, it's a Drunken Footy podcast, surely. Right. Guys, thank you very much. Hope you're all well. Keep safe. And enjoy the rest of your evening. Take care. Bye-bye.